Hey, what's happening, everybody? Let's try this one again. I'm gonna wait a few minutes, see who shows up. We're gonna go a little more casual today than yesterday. Let's see. Got a little Doobie Brothers going on. A little Spotify action on a Friday evening. All right. Yeah, we got some people showing up. Cool. All right, today at 5, we're going to get a little tactical and strategical. So if you're watching this, you want to get to the meat of YouTube ads. Let me turn this music off real quick. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Hopefully you have an adult beverage, or, if you don't like adult beverages, some sort of refreshment, something to ease your Friday afternoon. But today, I've got my windows open. It's nice and warm here finally. It's not raining. So hope you don't mind the sounds. And hey, Dina, how you doing? Good to see you. At first I was like, oh, they probably don't want to hear the birds. But you know what? I got the windows open. I've got, the air's coming through, hearing some sounds of people and movement. It's good. It's good for the soul. Good for morale. So today we're going to talk about some YouTube ads. So if you're catching the live, great. Put your questions in. I'm going to get very tactical, very strategic. I don't care if it's 2 people that show up or it's 50. So if you show up and you want some tactical input on how I would do advertising on the YouTubes right now, we can talk about that. And I've got a few slides going to show you some things to think about when you're doing YouTube ads, and just kind of riff on some experiences over the past few days, over this week, and hopefully give you guys a lot of value on this. All right. So I'm doing these lives for you. I'm doing these lives to give you value. So when it comes to getting clients and customers, especially in our new climate, in the new situation we all find ourselves in, where we're kind of confined at home, it's one of those things where when I was talking to my friend Abby Woodcock this morning, we were talking about mindset. We were talking about getting your head right so that you can create offers for our new reality. And on Monday, when I started this first set of lives, I talked about 3 things that every business owner must do. And that includes me, that includes you. And we need to face our customer circumstances, and then we need to pivot our offers to our customer circumstances, and then we need to actually advertise. So this is a bookend to my live that I did on Monday, in that we need to advertise. You have to advertise, okay? You have to think about where people are. So if you want to go really deep into this, so today I'm going to talk about some strategies, some tactics. If you want to get really deep in some of that training, you can check out learnvideoads.com. I'll go ahead and put that on the screen here. If you want to learn how to use video advertising in your business in a very deep way, I'm going to cover some tactical strategic stuff. But if you want to go through that training, it's on demand. It's not some hokey webinar or anything like that. So you can go to learnvideoads.com and go through, reserve your seat on that. And then it's on demand, it's immediate. It's a presentation where I take you through a bit deeper than what I'm going to do right here. So you can check that out. But the whole point of this is to give you some tools, give you some tactical things on YouTube. So if you have questions about offers, I can give you my perspective. I think one of the most valuable things that we can give to each other is our perspective. And it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what level of your expertise. Somebody coming in and giving you their perspective uniquely disconnected from your business is always a healthy thing. So when I have friends and peers, somebody like Abby and Chris Warzakowski and Melanie Warren and Kevin Rogers, when they give me their perspective, granted, it might be something that I already knew, but when they give me their perspective specific to my business, they're not emotionally connected to it. So I would like to do that for you. So put your questions in on Facebook. We've got 7 or 8 people on here right now. I realize it's 5 o'clock on a Friday, but if you're watching the replay on this, I'm still going to respond to comments. So if you're not watching this live, still drop your comments in. I'll monitor the thread. But check out learnvideoads.com if you want to go through that training. And I'm going to share my screen here real quick and just give you a couple things to think about. Because, we're sitting at home. We've all got a lot of time, right? If you're watching this, you're watching the replay, you've probably got a lot of time. So I'm just going to go through a few slides, give you something simple to think about here. And hopefully you all can hear me okay. yesterday at 5, we got 40 minutes in. It was like, hey, bro, slides look great, but we can't hear you. So hopefully you can hear me. And Dina, thanks for that comment. So if you can hear me, let me just check the comments here real quick. If you can hear me, go ahead and comment that you can hear me, please. That way I'm not just talking into a void like yesterday. And oh, yep, I can hear myself there. Awesome. All right, we're all set on that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll just go through some slides. If you have questions, fire away. All right. Let me know that you can see my slides here. Awesome. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Dina. That's great. All right. So I wanted to show you how you can get fully booked with customer and clients using $10 a day YouTube ads, even when the sky is falling. So I'll go off script a little bit on this. So think about industries right now that will entertain people, keep them moving, and keep them hopeful. Okay, everyone's home, they're isolated. When we're isolated, we tend to lose hope, we tend to lose perspective, we tend to let things go. Okay, so if your product or service can be pivoted to give people hope, give them something to latch onto beyond this, can entertain them, keep them busy. I was talking with another friend of mine. We were talking about industries and just brainstorming what's working really, really well right now. Crafts. Like people are at home learning to knit and crochet. And I mean, not saying you have to do that, but any number of, I mean, there are thousands of crafts that people could be doing at home to stay occupied, because you can only watch so much Netflix before you get bored out of your mind. Okay. So when you're looking at how to get fully booked with clients and customers right now, your offers need to be, and if you haven't seen the presentation that Abby Woodcock did at 10 a.m. this morning, go back and watch that live stream. It's on the YouTube channel and it's on the Facebook page. Fantastic stuff about your mindset, and also answering the questions of where are people, like what are they doing with their abundance? Like what do they have in abundance right now? So people have an abundance of time, which their mind wanders. So how can you help them use that abundance of what they have right now to get happier, get healthier, have hope, that sort of thing. Okay. So, what I'm going to talk about, so for YouTube ads, tactically, high intent traffic is what we're talking about. So when YouTube is, somebody pulls up YouTube, they're typically looking to either be entertained, they're looking to be educated, or they're looking to solve a problem. That's at a high level. Okay. So this is just a really simple and easy way for you to get in front of your ideal clients. And I'm going to show you the mechanics of this. Okay. So really there are only 4 parts to this. You have a seeker audience. People are seeking to learn something. They're seeking to solve a problem, or they're looking to be entertained, right? But they're seeking to consume something. So we have a seeker audience, a storyteller ad. That's where you can relate to them. You can speak directly to their intent. And then we send them to a 1-page funnel. And I found that the more complex the funnel, the less likely it is for someone to actually do the action you want. And it also diminishes the likelihood of you completing the actual, or your customers completing the actual action you want them to take. So if you have this really complex webinar funnel with 852 different steps, you're probably never going to launch the thing. Only a small percentage actually launch it. So we do a 1-page funnel, and then we have some sort of conversion mechanism. Okay. So just to give you an idea, I have a client that runs a bagel shop in Utica, New York. So Annie, if you're watching this is a shout out to you. This is the process we followed for her, and it transformed her business. Okay, we did simple storyteller ads, and she followed a script, and she did a storyteller ad. She sent people to really dead simple web pages. And then she had them either call or go online and purchase, and it transformed her business. You can go on my testimonials page and see her video testimonial. It's a pretty great story, and that's just one of many. Again, this isn't hard, okay? So these are the mechanics, 4 really simple parts. So when we look at our main element here, like our audience, our seeker audience is comprised of 3 elements, okay? We have the affinity, we have the keyword search, and then we have in-market. So now I know I'm going tactical, and I know that this is deep because I'm in this all the time, but it really comes down to answering a simple question, and that is, what is your who doing and why? Okay, so if you can answer that question, then you know how to target your customer, and you also know how to pivot your offers for your audience. Okay. So what is your who doing and why? So your who is who they are, the kind of person that they are. Like that's affinity. I'm always going to be me. I'm always going to like the things I like and do the things I do with some variance as I get older. But for the most part, I'm going to be me throughout. Okay. I'm not going to change unless I have split personalities, which is going to be a small percentage of the market, maybe larger after this quarantine's over. But for right now, you're going to have a smaller segment of the market be the split personalities. So like the 98 to 99% of the market is going to have affinity that's going to be multi-year. Okay. What are they doing is like, what are they searching for? So right now it's like, how do I get clients? How do I get customers? How do I save my business? How do I entertain my kids? What happens after the quarantine is over? What is going on with this? How do I file my taxes? How do I, for taxes right now, it's like, how do I delay filing my taxes? What is going on with our tax deadline? Okay. That's what they're searching for. So that's what they're doing. They're searching for information. They're searching for solutions. And then why? That is what events are happening that are causing them to do that. Now, right now, you couldn't really track like pandemic. That's not an option in Google. But when you have that kind of information, when you're answering that simple question of what is my who doing and why, you automatically become a smarter and it's an easy way to become a smarter marketer, because it is that simple. What are they doing and why? What is my ideal customer doing right now and why are they doing it? And then once you answer that, you have some empathy as to their situation, and you can offer something to either enhance the enjoyment of the current situation or take away pain from that current situation. Okay, doesn't matter what traffic source, doesn't matter if it's Facebook or YouTube or direct mail, or it doesn't matter what it is. This is applicable throughout any medium. Okay, when you know who your market is, what they're doing, and why they're doing it, you can speak to them at a very deep level. Okay. This is just a simple spreadsheet I just pasted in here. So I just have one cell. What is your who doing and why? So the who, I'm just throwing some data in here. Coaches, consultants are in their mid-30s, mid-50s. They're technophiles. They like iPhones and Androids and all that good stuff, have tablets, whatever. They're tech savvy. They're educated. Now, notice I don't say that they have degrees. They can be educated through higher education, or they can be self-educated, motivated. Doesn't matter, right? What are they doing? They're looking for how to get clients, how to get consistent leads. So a real easy one for you to work with is how to blank, right? So whatever you do, they're going to learn how to do something or how to solve a problem, how to not have to deal with taxes, how to find the best accountant in my area, how to get clients, how to get more customers in my restaurant, how to get more copywriting clients, how to, whatever, right? And then why are they doing that? So there's some event, and Google lets us track this as to, are they starting a business? Have they had a baby? Have they moved? Are they in the market for advertising services? Are they retiring soon? So what would prompt someone to go into Google and say, I want this? Okay. So this is the secret sauce for epic targeting. So it does not, this is not some 50 module bit. This is just common sense of, what is my who doing and why? If you answer that, I guarantee you will improve your advertising, okay? Because your targeting is going to get better. So if you get better at hitting in the bullseye, then, you're winning more contests, right? So here is just, let me back up this a little bit. There we go. So for affinity, this is what the targeting looks like inside of Google Ads, okay? So when I go into the audience section, I can look at the data they have. You can highlight over this and look at some of the data here. And look, 10 billion to 1 trillion impressions. That means that I have the opportunity for my advertising to this market to show between 10 billion and 1 trillion times in the US alone, okay? That's just affinity. So imagine we get the other two nailed, all right? So on the keyword side, this is just let me back this out a little bit so that you can see that. There we go. So how to get clients for a new business, how to get more business for a small bit. So what would they be searching for? This is just, you drop your keyword in here, and this is your targeting for your product or service. And then in market, it looks a lot like the affinity side, but the in market. So here's the cool thing about in market. All right. So the in market segment, When you go into the in-market segment, there is a time between 1 week and 4 weeks that Google uses all of its information about us to put us in these buckets. Now, okay, I'll be very blunt with you. Privacy is a myth. Okay, you just have to embrace the fact that privacy is a myth, and Google has infinitely more data on us than Facebook does. And it's funny because Facebook got all that Cambridge Analytica stuff. Google's a better steward of our data, but they have infinitely more data on us. But as advertisers, that is a never before seen in human history do we have an opportunity to target someone at the peak of their just ability or their desire to buy something. Okay, so let me give you an example. In market, we'll say this person is in with this amount of time. By our 70 million indicators that we calculate in 1/10 of a second when somebody searches for something, this is all the signals that say this person is in the market for blank, right? So let me give you an example. So the autos and vehicle segments you can drill those down by brand. So if you are a GM dealer, if you're an Audi dealer, if you're a BMW dealer, if you are a Chevrolet dealer, doesn't matter, right? You pick one of those, and Google has put that people into buckets saying that this person, all of their behavior online, all of their history, everything that they're doing right now says within the next 2 weeks to 4 weeks. So different markets, different in-market segments. So between 1 week and 4 weeks. So probably an automobile, I imagine 2 to 4 weeks, probably the higher end of the spectrum. This person is very likely to want to buy this brand of vehicle. Now, if you are a BMW dealer and you realize the power of this, what would you do? Well, you'd create a really good video saying, come on down and test drive the 3 Series, the 5 Series, whatever, put it on YouTube and target people who are in the market for BMWs. And that works for every other market segment as well. So for YouTube ads, so for me, if you're in the business of serving a business, right, and they are looking to market, and this is something I'm actively building right now, on the business industrial side right here, down at the bottom, okay? There's a subsegment of that for people who are in the market for search engine marketing services, okay? Now, for a guy like me, if I want to sell marketing services to a business, don't you think it would be beneficial for me to have the ability to target people that are at the pinnacle, that are at the peak of interest of wanting to market their business? I'm gonna tell you, this stuff is super, super powerful. Now, if you get all 3 of these, it is really, really powerful. So you put all 3 of these together, that's where you get that triangulation, okay? Now I go deeper on this on learnvideoads.com. I've got a whole, slide presentation. You can go watch on demand when you want to. Go to learnvideoads.com, and then you can see that. So it's about a 40-minute presentation. I go really, really deep into this stuff. But that's it. I mean, you can take a really simple 2-minute video ad, use this targeting, and take $10 a day, and it can transform your business, especially right now in the midst of all this like coronavirus stuff. It's say restaurants and fitness. I mean, all these industries that are hurting right now. You could create a 2-minute ad, and you could say, look, hey, my name is Patrick Kinney. I'm a YouTube ad specialist. Right now, the world is in chaos, and I would like to help you. So right now, I'm waiving all of my enrollment fees for my clients. I just want to help people who want to save their businesses. So click the link on this video. Fill out a couple of questions on my questionnaire. Let's get on the phone. Let me see if I can help you, and I can show you the opportunities on this. Like I said, I'm waiving my consulting fee and my implementation fee for the next 30 days just to help people stay afloat. And then once this is over, then we can establish a long-term relationship. How well do you think that would be received from people who are in the market for advertising services, or are in the restaurant industry, or searching for how to save my restaurant? I think that would do pretty well. Okay. So I hope that gives you some insight. I don't want to go super long today because it is Friday at 5 o'clock. I want to be mindful of everyone's time. So I hope you appreciate some of this tactical stuff. I mean, again, this is kind of deep, but this is so powerful. If you do this, it could really transform your business. Like I said, I've done this for a bagel shop. I've done this for email copywriters. I've done this for large financial divisions of major companies that I can't mention on here. Doesn't matter how big or small your business is. You can go as low as $5 a day and get some pretty fantastic results. But I would encourage you, if you're watching this, please, please, please start advertising. Okay. The best way to save your business, especially in this whole economic thing, is to double down on advertising. There was I think it was Roland Frazier was talking about just recently. He was talking about Volkswagen and Honda in the midst of the oil embargo in the 1970s, and how Volkswagen, who was the dominant automaker at the time, started freaking out because people with like sales were dropping, and then the whole oil embargo. Sorry, not Honda, it was Toyota. Volkswagen and Toyota were, they were kind of neck and neck as far as, the efficient vehicles back, like the Civics and the Accords and all that stuff, and the Volkswagen Bug and some of the other stuff that Volkswagen was doing. But when the oil embargo hit and the recession hit in Jimmy Carter's administration, Volkswagen pulled back on their advertising. They kind of freaked out and kind of just held things close to their chest. Toyota doubled down. They stepped up and said, look, we're going to push this forward because we have these efficient vehicles. I think it was a Corolla GTS or something. Anyway, I have to go back and look at the 70s vehicles, but Toyotas were like high efficiency vehicles that they were rolling out at the time. I mean, the sales just they just took off because Toyota doubled down on advertising, and they came out with massive market share. When the economy picked up, everyone recognized Toyota as being that authority on efficiency, where Volkswagen just kind of went into their shell and they lost market share. I mean, it was almost overnight. Okay. So you've got to double down on advertising. You've got to pivot your offers to your customer circumstances. And right now, like the whole point of my lives and doing these every day and every day next week, I've got one tomorrow with Brian McCarthy on case studies, but I'm doing this to put goodwill in my market because I know that's going to pay off for my business. So people that remember when I helped, that when things are great, they're going to come to me for help because they know that I'm genuine and that I truly want to help people. Okay. So I hope that helped you. The whole point of all of this is just to kind of give you some perspective on why you should be using video ads, video consumption, even before all this crap was up. Video consumption was already going crazy. Now it's like eclipsed everything else. So, please do advertising. All right, let's ask some questions or answer some questions here. Hey, Robert, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Where am I doing my search? Dina, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Where am I doing my search? I mean, I go to Google. There's I can show you. If you want to elaborate what you mean, I know it's a few second delay, but elaborate on what you mean by that. And I'll answer. Let me step my screen share. Yeah. And I'll show you just some easy ways to, you all want to learn some easy ways to do some research? Is that cool? Just drop a comment. Let me know if that's cool. If that's something you want to do. I can get real tactical on some of the keyword research if you want. I'm going to assume yes. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up. Can you scale ads way better with Facebook ads? Two questions. Can you scale ads way better than Facebook ads? Scale fast when you see they work. Can landing pages be a quiz ask method assessment? Very, very good question. Okay. Dina, thanks for that. Okay. Dina, what did you mean by business, industrial, etc.? Elaborate on that, and I'll give you an example. So Rob, I'm just gonna put your question up here. Can you scale ads way better than Facebook ads scale when you see they work? Okay, yeah, Rob, getting real tactical, right? So I've got a client that is spending $1 million a month. Actually, lately it's been more like 700, but they're spending quite a bit a month. Now we have them dialed in on this. It's this thing called Target CPA on YouTube ads. It's when you educate, and I can't divulge who it is, but I have seen like the moment we started hitting a certain cost. So CPA is cost per acquisition. Okay. So this was cost per purchase, not acquiring them as a lead. So when we had their CPA pretty well dialed in, we started to scale. I typically will scale to $5,000 a day, let it hold for a bit, go to 7,500, make sure it holds for a bit. And then I can scale infinitely. So we went from like 7,500 to 20K a day in a 24-hour period, and the CPAs held true. So Google's AI is way better than Facebook ads. Like you don't get the reason Facebook ads don't scale is because they have too much of the influence of relevance, where Google automatically builds that in. It does not let the human element of comments and likes influence relevance on that. So when you scale, it's using those 70 million indicators to make adjustments. So it works for the consumer, but it also works for the advertiser, right? So when you do target CPA, it's going to try to beat its own best on that, regardless if you're spending 100 grand a day or 2 grand a day. Okay. So when you find something's working at 2 grand a day, because I've been there on Facebook ads, right? You find something's working at $1 grand a day or $500 a day, and you scale it to 2,500 or 5 grand, and it just just goes haywire, just like your lead costs go out the window, right? So no, you don't have that issue with Google Ads. And I'll tell you right now, I have some properties I'm building out on that are a pay per lead, where I generate the lead and then I sell it to an industry, and I'm using the quiz method, right? So I'm actually using Thrive's, I forget what they call it, but they're quiz builder. I'm using the quiz builder to do that. And where people go through, because they can just do like, yep. You kind of lead them through. It really indoctrinates them. The one thing I'll tell you, Rob, is use an advertorial on the front end of that. It's really going to filter those low quality leads. So like I'll do YouTube to an advertorial and really sell them through the advertorial and really good copy on the concept that I want them to understand. And then when people click from that into the quiz, I find that the completion rate of the quiz is, it depends on industry, but it's way above 65% to actually finish the quiz. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. Is it Google keyword search? I was talking about in-market peak. No, Dina. So on the in-market segment, you could go in. Let me show you. I'll share my screen. I'll just show you. Okay. This is great. I love the interaction. So thank you all for showing up. And actually, Rob, I think it's, let me look at my schedule here. On Monday, I think Rachel Mazza is coming on Monday. Let me just double check real quick. Tomorrow, Brian McCarthy is going to cover case studies. And then on Monday, let me just double check so I don't give you the wrong information. Rachel Mazza is like a master at advertorials, and I believe she is coming on Monday. I'm sorry, it's a crazy schedule putting this stuff together. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but let me just confirm you real quick, because she's going to go pretty deep into the advertorial training. Yeah, Rachel is 10:30. I'm sorry, she's on Tuesday. Rachel Mazza is 10:30 on Tuesday, so mark your calendar for that. Using advertorials to supercharge sales. So she's going to show up and do that. Okay, Rob? All right, so Dina, let's see, your question about keyword. All right, so this is what it looks like when I start a campaign. Okay, so I have the goal of leads, for example. So what I typically do is I'll do like tofu, lead gen, whatever. So, just whatever your naming convention needs to be. Typically I'll do like lead gen, bid 22, and then be male, female. Just give me some idea when I'm looking at it as a snapshot. Daily, I'll start at 10. And then down here in the audience segments, okay? So I can do in-market, but it's in-market life events. Can you all see this okay? Is this large enough? Eric, the advertorial. So Eric asked, how long is as an advertorial? So the no. So the advertorial, good question. The advertorial is a text landing page. It's like a shorter sales page. And it's typically, Rachel, she might tell me that I'm wrong on this, but it's typically like under 750 words, right? So you're going to do a video, like a video ad. It's like a 2-minute video ad, right? And if you all want, I can show you a formula for a storytelling ad. So if you all, just let me know if you want to learn to do the storytelling ad, I'll show you that formula. But you'll do like a storytelling ad. And then when they click the ad, they'll go to the advertorial. And the advertorial is just a smaller sales page where they can pre-qualify themselves. You have to think of it as it's a quality builder. So the people that are like, oh, it's not for me, they'll leave, right? But the people that read through that and click on that, you can then send them to a quiz. And when they complete that quiz, they're a really high quality qualified lead. Okay. So just to say on your quiz thing. All right. So as far as, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll show you guys the formula here in a second. So in the audience segment here, the end market, this is, you could just come in here. So if you knew that you wanted to target people who are in the market for business services, okay. So if any of you watching this are wanting to serve clients, and you want to put the massive goodwill, the good juju out there, so that when the dust settles, they're like, hey, Eric or Rob or Dina or Rachel, like, they were fantastic. They really helped me, and they didn't try to squeeze me for money, because people remember that. I could go into business services here, and you can search if you can't remember which one it's in. So if I look at advertising and marketing services, right? So I could choose that as a broad stroke and say, I'm going to only target this. Look, this is 220 million weekly impressions in the US. Okay. That means there's a significant number of people looking for advertising and marketing services. And I could even go down to SEO and SEM services, and I could expand this and look at how many impressions I have here. Can you all see this okay? Let me know if you can see that okay. So you can just explore these in market, and depending on what you do, you could also look at life events. So if someone is, so look at this business creation. If someone has recently started a business, or they're starting one soon, they might be freaking out, right? And you could come in and rescue them. Or if someone has had a job change recently, right? So recently started a new job. Hey, worried about losing your new job? Here are things you can do to insulate, whatever. Someone that's been married, someone who's purchased a home. If you're a real estate agent, or if you're an insurance, actually, here's what I would do. If I were an insurance, if I sold life insurance, and I would target people who recently purchased a home, and I would also target people who were married. Actually, I wouldn't. Here's what I would do. Let me take this off here. Let me clean this up, because I can't stand for this to be unclean. All right, recently purchased a home. We did advertising. Okay, so we're going to do recently purchased home. So check this out. I can go here and say, okay, who's a parent? I could target people who are parents. Hey, you just purchased a new home? Don't leave your family burdened with the debt of your mortgage without some sort of coverage in the untimely event of your death. Okay. Again, you're going to have to get better at that. You don't want to prey on people's fear, but you say, hey, look, the world's kind of crazy right now. The coronavirus, we don't know. Are you covered? Do you have life insurance? Did you know that your insurance will cover your mortgage? It will give living expenses. It will do this, right? So you want to sell in a serving way, but just giving you some ideas. If you targeted people who were parents who had recently purchased a home, and you're an insurance person, that's pretty darn simple. Like, it's like going back to the, what is my who doing and why? Okay. Well, you probably have an idea. They're probably freaking out. But again, you could go as simple as parents who had recently purchased a home, acknowledge the current situation, and put this out there as like, hey, if you're a recent homeowner, newly acquired homeowner, you've got kids in the house, how are you doing on life insurance? Click here to take an assessment. Let's have a talk about what kind of coverage you need, to cover your home, cover your life expenses, your kids going to school. Boom, right? Does that help? Hopefully that's a good example. Hey, Eric, you can just do HD. I can't make it bigger. I can take myself off here. Oh yeah, I've got to be on here. Sorry, it won't let me do it without being on here. So maybe that was the trouble I had yesterday. This is StreamYard. This is new this week for me. So let me zoom in a little bit. And by the way, Eric, if you want to go to, thanks, Tina. Miss your voice too. Hope you're doing okay. Eric, if you want to go to learnvideo.ads.com, I go through this presentation in detail. So hopefully you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. Let's see. Really, all I was doing on this was you can go into this demographic information here. So like if I were to sell, Eric, what do you do? Like what are you offering? What's your service? If you tell me which service is, I can do something specific to your situation. But if I were going to sell insurance, I could target parents, and then I could go down into the in-market segment, and I could say people who had recently purchased a home. So I can mouse over this, and it says people who recently bought a home, right? So 500 million to 1 billion impressions. That's not the number of people who bought a home. That's just advertising impressions available in their estimate. So that's just one example. All right, cool. So let me know what you do. So custom orthotics. Okay. So who's your target customer, Eric? Let me know who your target customer is and what they might be searching into Google. And I can show you some examples. So while we're waiting on that, I can show you, let me change up. I'll go through the storytelling, right? All right, let's go back to my slides here. Can you all see this? Okay, cool. So this might be a little small. Okay, Dina, I'll cover yours in a second. It's a system I developed to make orthotics actually work because the medical system is not really helping people. Okay, Eric, so I will tell you, what does your market desire? So if you want to create a really good offer, you have to speak to your customers' desires. And a really good test for that is like, if you're getting in the mind of your ideal customer, what are they waking up at 3 a.m. worrying about? Okay, so in the case of orthotics, are they worrying about how they're going to walk to the grocery or walk to the train because of the pain they're going to have in their knee, or are they going to worry about how they're going to carry their bag? Like, what is their main problem that you solve, and what keeps them up at night? That can help you. All right, people in NYC who have tried other orthotics that haven't worked and their problems have gotten worse. Okay, elaborate on that. So that's, you're getting there, but so they've tried other orthotics that haven't worked. Why have they not worked? What is frustrating about that? Okay, so there's a point for me getting to that. All right, so on the storytelling ad, so we want to identify, you can either identify yourself, you can identify the person, right? So I could say, hey, if you're a New Yorker who commutes and you have painful orthotics and you don't know what to do because you've tried and tried and tried and tried to get your doctor to take care of you, this might be the most important message you see all day. Here's why. Statistics show that 85% of orthotics are created by people who don't really care about your experience. They're just trying to get through the numbers so they can collect insurance, right? See where I'm going with that? So you want to identify either you as a person or them as a situation. And then we transition into the struggle. So identity, struggle. So for me in this, hey, this is Patrick Kenny. I'm a YouTube ad specialist, a direct response copywriter. And then my struggle, when I started out online, I had no idea how to get clients. Okay. Talk about your struggle. And then I go into the discovery. I'd given up all hope of pursuing my dreams as a freelance developer. So for those of you who don't know, I was an application and web developer for years and years and years. I went to university for computer science. And when I came out, I was a computer tech geek, right? So I became a freelance developer. And I spent years building these applications for my clients, and I got really frustrated when they couldn't sell them, and I got really good at Google Ads. That was my transition into YouTube. So by saying, when I first started out as a freelance developer, I struggled to get clients, I'm helping them identify with my struggle because it becomes their struggle. So identity, struggle, then discovery. So basically I'm saying here, I discovered Dan Kennedy's magnetic marketing. I applied it to video. And then the result was I got all the clients I could ever want, and I had control over my business, which I still do today. If I want to get clients, I know how to do that, right? And then the thing that I want them to do was the call to action. This is the story. So identity, struggle, discovery, and then result, and then the action I want them to take. That is the story ad formula. Okay. Now I go a little bit deeper into this. If you go to learnvideoads.com and go through that on-demand training, I go through this entire process. I'm not just I just did an overview on that, so you can watch that there. But Dina, if you're going to create an SEO course for new bloggers, I would say, what is your big why? All right, so I'll just put there let's see, let's take that off of there. So Dina's going to create an SEO strategy course. Okay. The question I would have for you is anyone waking up going, oh man, if only anyone could give me SEO strategy. Okay. So that's the vehicle. The vehicle that's going to get them to the promised land is your SEO strategy course. But you've got to sell them to their circumstance. So does that make sense? I mean, you may already have that, but I'm just going to give you my 2 cents. Like, you have to sell them the promised land of the result of what SEO, because they don't have money for advertising. Then I would probably pick a different market, right? Because you don't want to market to broke people. SEO is great for people like Eric, great for people like plastic surgeons, great for dentists. It's great for people who already have money that they want to do long-term asset building. Personally, for me, because I've done SEO before, when I sold it, it was better to package it as an asset, long-term asset service, and sell it to people who have money, and sell them the dream of, imagine the frustration of your competition when they go to search for plastic surgery in Chicago, for instance, and you're showing #1 and you didn't have to pay for that. That's selling to ego. So I would sell to ego and desire rather than to broke people, to be honest. Or you could use the SEO course as a way to build really goodwill in your market, to establish authority, and then go after people that have money. Okay, that's my 2 cents on that. SEO strategy for bloggers. Yeah, I'd kind of give that away for free, to be honest. That's what I would do. Unless you want to sell it for like a $37 ebook, and then you could sell the crap out of it using Google ads, using YouTube ads to promote it. So, yeah, we can riff on that a little bit more, but that's my concern, would be that you're selling to broke people on that. All right. Eric says 3 groups of people, people who are just on their feet and having daily pain, people who are athletic and have developed pain that won't go away and can't do the exercise, run CrossFit, seniors. All right, cool. So you have 3 different markets. So let me go back to Dina real quick. So Dina, for your targeting, I would target people who, so for bloggers, I would target like their search terms first, like how to get more website visitors, or how to get more traffic to my blog. And just go to Google. There's a plugin called Keywords Everywhere you can use to get some data on key terms. Just go into Google. That plugin will tell you like keywords that show up close to those that are relevant, similar to like whatever you search for. So people looking to get traffic to their blog. And then you could also explore some of those life events, or where they might be starting a business. Maybe why did they start the blog, or why do they want to get traffic to the blog, right? So hopefully that helps. Eric, yeah, you've got 3 sets of people. So really, since you're selling to pain, okay, awesome. Eric, since you're selling to pain, I would go keyword based and look at things like, so that question of like, what is my who doing and why? They would probably go search for how to make my orthotic more comfortable, how to alleviate orthotic pain, how to leave back pain from orthotics, things like that. So do a really good service here. I'll put this up on the screen. This is a really good service here. Share it here. I'll put it on. There we go. So Answer the Public is a really good service to do some keyword research on like what people are searching for. And let's see, make sure you guys can see that. Okay. So like when I search for orthotics, all right, it'll tell me all the things like, here we go. Let's look for how. All right, let's go back and do like orthotic comfort. Let's see what we got here. Not a whole lot there. Let's go back to the previous one. So yeah, I mean, really spend time like, what's my who doing and why? I may not be able to give you an exact strategy, but if they're searching like, if their pain points are literal pain points, it's going to be, yeah, how to get orthotic insoles. How to wash orthotic inserts. How to use orthotic inserts. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go to, let me pull up the keyword research. Is this okay? You guys enjoying this? It's okay if I go a little bit deeper in the keyword planner? You cool with that? We got 8 people live on here. I think this is a good exercise. A lot of people don't use the keyword planner enough. Let me give me 1 second. I'll pull up keyword planner in my account here. 1 second. There we go. Keyword planner. Okay, cool. Let me change out my screen. Show you the keyword planner. All right, can you all see my keyword planner screen here? Hopefully this is, I'll make it a little bit bigger if I can. That's not going to scroll over. Okay, so I could do, Eric, do you want to share your, do you have a website you want to send people to? How to use orthotic inserts. Let's get some keyword ideas here. All right, so how to use orthotic inserts. Yeah, drop your URL in there and I'll do an analysis on your see what keywords come up. But let's do this. Let's do orthotic pain. Orthotics for Morton's neuroma. Orthotic shoes for knee problems. Okay, just a minute. That's fine. Custom made shoes for foot problems. Okay, and you know that's another thing too. You know, going to the beginning of their journey, maybe they don't know it's the orthotic. Maybe they just have heel pain, and you know yours is going to be very specific. So you're probably going to have to do a lot of keyword research, and you know, given more time to dig into it, you could look at when you start getting traffic, right? So when you start getting traffic on your keywords, the data you're going to get on your account is going to tell you more about your affinity. It's going to tell you more about what they're in the market for. I don't think there's anything specifically for orthotics. Man, that would be a good challenge. I'm always up for a challenge. Let me, you know what, you got me intrigued. Let's go back to the in-market segment here. Let me see what I can find on this. Okay, because I always like, not that yours is obscure, but it's not like, you know, trying to sell luxury clothes or anything like that. So let's see. All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's do orthotics. Let's do health. Yeah, it'd be pretty interesting if Google had if Google had a specific for people in the market for orthotics. But you know, this is one of those things. So I'll give you an easy way to dial this in, Eric, because you can go broader on your market. So whatever target you have, like you could just do the word orthotics, right? So personally, for me, if I were in your shoes, I would do some research, but I would probably start off with keywords. Like down here is where you put your keywords. I would probably just go for orthotics, and then you would go really broad. And this is the beauty of YouTube. Okay. So when you go keyword specific and then you go broad on your keywords, you let your video ad will qualify people. Okay. So the first 29 seconds of any YouTube ad is free branding. So if they click the skip ad and they don't watch your video, you don't pay for it. So if you come out and say, hey, you know, I'm Eric, I create custom orthotics that are comfortable, that are really going to help you, you know, make that walk to the train without your back hurting, without your knees hurting, whatever, that is going to qualify them, even though you're going broad on your audience by going to a very open keyword, then that's going to give you data. So you might pay a little bit more to get that attention, but once you have the data coming through, you can start to dial in your marketing, start dialing in your targeting. So that's probably where I would start for you. Okay. Hope that helps. All right, guys, let's see. That's 48 minutes in. Josh, you mentioned, are all times mentioned EST? Not sure what you mean about that. On the training? Oh, as far as like when people show up on my training, yeah, that's Eastern. So I'm in Kentucky. So I'm in New York time zone. So tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern is Brian McCarthy, and then we've got Angie Coley on Monday, and then Tuesday, Rachel Mazza. Wednesday is Mike Renard on some Facebook stuff. He and I are going to jam out on some paid traffic. So if you want to learn about case studies that convert, show up tomorrow at 12 or catch the replay. Monday, Angie Coley. She has a really awesome new product called Permission to Kick Ass. She's really good as far as helping you see your offers in a unique way. And she's just a badass copywriter. And then Rachel Mazza is going to do advertorials. And then Mike Renard has, I believe, the most unique and awesome process for creating Facebook ads that convert. So he does like storytelling on Facebook ads, amazing stuff. Just a brilliant dude. Love him. He's going to come on Wednesday, and we're going to jam out on some ads. So those are all Eastern time. And let's see. Yes, Rachel's stuff on advertorials will be Eastern. It's Josh, you're on my email list. If you get my emails about the trainings, because I'll send out a reminder before that with links for that. But if you subscribe to the channel, so you have subscribe and hit notify, as soon as we go live, you'll get a notice on that. But you'll also get an email notice when that goes live. But yeah, she's 10:30, 10 or 10:30 on 10 or 10:30 on Tuesday. Yep. So cool, guys. Any other questions before I let you go? I'm going to wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I like to go in a little tactical. Just a reminder, learnvideoads.com. I've got an on-demand training, take you through the entire mechanics of high intent traffic. And I'll tell you about the fully booked method. That's my training on there, how you can get that for free if you want. And the details on Learn Video Ads. So that's it, my friends. So thanks for jumping on live. I know it's probably not the most opportune time on a Friday, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? So my wife snuck in a little glass of vino for me. So after this live is done, I'm going to sign off for the weekend and go enjoy some time with my family. So, all right. Wow. It's my pleasure. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Thanks, Dana. Thanks for the comments, Rob and Josh. Appreciate it. Rachel, Eric, thanks for jumping on. Do me a favor, share this on social media, please. If someone else could benefit from this and all the trainings I've done this week, let me know that you guys enjoyed it, so I will keep it up. And also let me know what else I can show you all. There's a lot that we can do on the YouTube side, everything else. If there's anything I can do in a training to help you guys, please let me know. Appreciate all of you all. Stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the chin up. We're going to get through all this stuff, and we're all going to be better for it. So if nothing else, drop a comment, and I'd be happy to lift you up the best way I can. All right. Y'all have an awesome Friday evening, a very great weekend. I'll see you all tomorrow at 12. Join me tomorrow at 12, and then on Monday. All right, y'all. Have a good night. See y'all.